Chase Daniel, Athletic Scoop City podcast. He co-hosts that. And also the Chase Daniel Show on YouTube, which is how we first stumbled upon Chase. He was breaking down game footage and just loved his football acumen. And now a co-host of The Facility on Fox Sports 1. He joins us on the program. Are you back on the Texans bandwagon, Chase?
I mean, I don't know if I ever left. You know what I mean? So they had Nico Collins back last night, and I was doing some digging, and it's pretty easy to see that when the Texans have Nico Collins back, they're 5-1. Without Nico Collins, they're 2-3. So he's the secret sauce. But I still don't think that our guy CJ's playing very well. He's not seeing it as well, and I think the biggest thing is he's having to let go of the ball a lot sooner because his offensive line sucks. If you just want to say that, because it is, they're like 30th in pressure rate. So the defense is legit, though. 2 touchdowns last night, but it's just they're a weird team to get behind, although I've never really left.
I'm wondering about this, and you being a former quarterback. How long does it take the league to get a book on you?
Yeah, well, look, there's only so many things a defense can do. They can play cover two, they can blitz, they can play man. So defenses have way less of a playbook, if that makes sense to me. I think what they're doing on defense now to sort of counteract is they're making him stay in the pocket. Like last year, what I saw from him is like when stuff broke down, he was able to escape and he was able to make these plays down the field because his receivers were rolling. Now I think what they're doing a good job of on defense is they're you call it a mush rush. Okay, so a mush rush means you're rushing the passer, but you're really not rushing the passer, and you just want to stay in your pass rush lanes. Not a lot of people talk about it. But that frustrates a quarterback because you're taking away your first and second read and you're not able to get out and extend the play. That's what CJ was so good at last year. And he's turning the ball over more. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think CJ has to just, I mean, it obviously helped last night. You have Nico Collins, but you just got to go back to sort of the basics on what you're doing and just like, hey, you got to somehow find a way to get out of the pocket and make those plays down the field. Because I thought last year that's what made him special.
How did the Cowboys salvage this season?
They can't. They can't. There's no way. How where in the world are you going to salvage this season? Like your starters out.
Well, do you give Trey Lance a chance? You have to start looking at the future. Mike McCarthy's not going to be there. Do you trade Micah Parsons? Like I don't know. Are you trying to figure out exactly?
I mean,
what is their identity now?
They don't have it, and that's the problem. Right, because that's what Jerry Jones said. Hey, we're all in the offseason. You know what they did? They signed a long snapper. They didn't go out. They didn't get Derrick Henry. They didn't get a run game. They didn't do any of this stuff. So in free agency from the start, and then you don't give your head coach, your lame duck head coach Mike McCarthy, a new contract. So why even bring him back? I go back to that. Like you're a lame duck coach. The only way you're keeping your job is if you win the Super Bowl, and this roster's way worse than it was last year. For me, I was on the Trey Lance bandwagon. Like you trade a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance, and now he's your backup. He was your 3rd-string quarterback. Like we know what Cooper Rush can do. We don't know what Trey Lance can do. Like he played pretty bad in the preseason, just wasn't in timing and in rhythm. But you put him out there with CeeDee Lamb now. I mean, stuff might change, but still, at the end of the day, a quarterback's best friend's a run game. Dak didn't have it. That's why he's turning the football over. Cooper Rush doesn't have it. They're having to throw the ball 50 yards. And then, Dan, you know the season's going crazy and haywire when stuff's falling from the ceiling and Brandon Aubrey's missing kicks. Like, that's how I knew this season is over for them.
Chase Daniel, the Athletic Scoop City podcast, also the Chase Daniel Show on YouTube, and co-hosting The Facility on Fox Sports 1. Josh Allen's MVP to lose?
Oh, yeah. I think so. And people, I said this on air the other day, and I got so much blowback, man, because like Lamar Jackson, like he's having I agree. Like Lamar Jackson's having an insane season. But you look at the offense around him and the offensive line they went out and they secured and the receivers, and he's got an offense around him. Josh Allen, he's 9-2. The Bills are 9-2 for the first time since 1992. And quite honestly, he's doing it with nobody. And that doesn't mean any ill will on their skill players. I think James Cook's great. Dalton Kincaid missed last game. Keon Coleman missed last game. Amari Cooper's played 1 or 2 games since he got traded. He's been hurt. So what Josh has been able to do right now, he's the most valuable player. And people sometimes forget it's the most valuable player. It's not the best player. Like I would say the best player right now, even with a bad game, is Lamar Jackson. But what Josh is doing and Joe Brady's doing is special. So I mean, when you beat the Chiefs too, like just sign me up for that Josh Allen experience.
If not the Lions in the NFC, then who?
No, it's the Lions. It's it's the Lions. Like for me, I like what the Eagles are doing. However, I still feel strongly that Jalen Hurts is not playing his best football. And the Eagles are doing what they're doing offensively because of Saquon Barkley and that offensive line. Like if you take Saquon Barkley off the Eagles, I don't know if they are where they at right now. But when you watch the Lions play, they're on the different level. Like Ben Johnson, Jared Goff, you could put Jared Goff in the top five of the MVP race, even with a 5 interception game. Like you throw 5 interceptions at a contender in the Houston Texans, and you somehow find a way to win. Like it's never been done since it's like the last time it's been done is like 1970. You come back from 15, you throw 5 interceptions. So if I had to pick, and I'm not all in on the Eagles. I think they're a good team. I think defensively, Vic Fangio's not getting enough credit for what he's doing, especially since the bye week. But I mean, reluctantly, I'll say the Eagles just to appease you.
I never thought we would read a headline or even consider the Ravens making a change at kicker with Justin Tucker. Like he was the sure thing. If there was a Mariano Rivera of football players or kickers, Justin Tucker would be one of those names. What happens to a kicker like this when all of a sudden he's not who we thought he was?
Yeah, I mean, look, Justin Tucker is going to go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, kickers of all time. I heard Eddie Pinheiro just passed him for the most accurate kicker in NFL history, right? And it's sort of tough to see like someone like a Mariano Rivera that you just know is going to get it done and struggle. He's already missed as many kicks as he did last year. And it's not even long kicks, it's these short kicks. It's almost like you have the yips in baseball. And it just seems when he's kicking the football, he's not kicking it the way we're all used to. So for like fans, just in general, it's tough. There's really nothing you can do because like when you're at practice with the kickers, like you see them working on the side. In offense and defense going, they're just always working on the side and they'll come and have one special teams period and kick. It's almost like more mental. I mean, it is more mental because physically he can still do it, right? I think you got to make some long kicks. You got to make a game-winning kick or something like that to get it back. But what used to be an automatic three is just not anymore. And the Ravens have lost some games because of it.
Yeah. Trying to understand the Caleb Williams situation. Can you put yourself in his position right now of why is he struggling where Bo Nix is lighting it up, Drake May shows more promise, and certainly Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it, right? Like Caleb Williams, in my opinion, is the fourth quarterback right now in terms of play, in terms of development. And I don't want to put too much on coaching, but I do agree that like the first 4 or 5 games of the year, Shane Waldron, he was calling a very pro-style offense, almost like he did with Justin Fields, or like what Luke Getsy did with Justin Fields is like almost the same offense where you're under center, you're play action, you're trying to do too much at the line of scrimmage. I think you put too much on the rookie. And when you do that and you don't have success, mentally your mind goes to like, can I handle this? Can I handle this league? And he's confident on the outside, right? But you could tell mentally he wasn't seeing it the last few games. But I do like what Thomas Brown did. He got back. He's running the football. I think they ran it 30 times in the first half. So while Bears fans are frustrated because really the whole franchise of all the quarterbacks they've had has been frustrating. They've never had a 4,000-yard passer. They've never had 35. I get that. But when you go to last game, I am encouraged by what I saw, mainly because he just took the easy completions. He got the football out of his hands. He didn't take bad sacks. He didn't really turn over. And then when you look at the 2 games they've lost, right, the Washington Hail Mary game and then this past game where they get a block kick, when Caleb needed plays the most in 2 minutes, he made those plays. Like the last 2 drives against the Commanders, he won that game for them if they just knocked down the Hail Mary. And then this past game in 2 minutes, he made an amazing 3rd and 19 throw, got out of the pocket. He made a crazy 4th and 3 back shoulder throw to Rome Odunze. And then he checked to the game-winning, what should have been the game-winning catch to Keenan Allen in the slot. So he's making progress. And I think this is sort of where they should have started. And you got to slowly build his confidence back up.
Good to talk to you. Happy for your success, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, I got a question. What's the deal with Happy Gilmore 2, man? Are you in it? And when's it coming out? Like where's this whole thing going?
I'm shooting December 5th, my scene.
Oh, let's
And I
go.
think it's probably going to be 4th of July, like summer blockbuster. But they're keeping it. I only got portions of the script. I only got my part of the script. I don't have
Yeah.
the whole script. And Sandler said there's a plot twist, and he didn't want me. He said, "You can't, Danny, you can't keep a secret." I go, "All right." So they only gave me my lines, and I think I'm shooting December 5th.
I'm a huge Happy Gilmore fan, man, and it was cool to see like watch it going on in that whole movie, and now get to be on your show. So I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
That's Chase Daniel, the Athletics Scoop City podcast. Diana Rossini, they co-host that. The Chase Daniel Show on YouTube and the Facility on Fox Sports 1.